Coach Luca here at the Kettlebell Club. I want to introduce you to a very special routine, and this one is called Iron Cardio. Now, the Iron Cardio comes from strength aerobics, which was a routine or a program designed by Alexis Senard and Pavel Tsatsouline. And Brett Jones, one of my mentors and friends, he expanded upon the simple principle or the simple methodology of doing strength training with low repetition, but as a form of aerobic routine or cardio, you can say. So it's basically cardio with kettlebells. But we do it in such a way that we stay fresh, we avoid fatigue, and our technique is always flawless. So we build up a lot of work capacity and various types of muscular endurance. This is very effective for finessing your technique, getting stronger, working your endurance, like I mentioned, and also building some muscle mass at the same time. I'm gonna drop the links of the article Strength Aerobics, as well as a link to Brett's book and Brett's program, just so if you wanna get more knowledge and references about it. But it's a great routine you can introduce as a variety day, or as a practice session, or as a whole program onto its own. Brett uses Iron Cardio as a form of intuitive training, so it's not programmed. But I'll explain to you how you can program it or use it if you're more of an intuitive trainer. So in this video, I'm gonna show you about the classic Iron Cardio, and we're gonna talk about another small routine that's intertwined. It's called the Traveling Twos. A few things to remember about Iron Cardio in terms of the principles is it's not HIIT training. You're not chasing the burn, you're not chasing fatigue, so that's not the point. It is an anti-glycolytic training program, meaning you're not pushing into glycolysis and feeling a lot of lactic acid. It's mainly alactic, so you're working your primary power energy system and recovering aerobically. So you're working your strength, power, and also your heart rate in terms of recovery. There's minimal acidosis. You're still gonna be building lots of work capacity, endurance, strength, and muscle. So it's an all-around program, but think of longevity, right? It's something that you could do for a very long time. Brett Jones has been doing it for at least a year, and he used this program with many of his students successfully. So how does the Iron Cardio work? So the classic template or routine is you do one clean, one press, one squat with a single kettlebell. You shake off the tension, you perform fast and loose exercises, you recover through nasal breathing, and then you perform it on the other side. You can do both sides back to back or take your time. And it's a self-paced program, meaning you're not necessarily chasing the clock. Naturally, you should reduce rest periods as you see fit and as you become stronger and more adapted to the workload. And there's a few variations that you can do based on this program. So another variation would be to do it with 2 kettlebells. You can do double kettlebells. You could do this on different days if you want to, or on a routine onto its own. If you do a routine onto its own, you could do Iron Cardio up to 3 times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, and as little as once a week. You choose either you want to have a time constraint or a work constraint. What does that mean? You're gonna give yourself either a time limit or a number of sets that would be a total amount of sets that would be your limit. For example, if I choose 20 minutes, I'm gonna see how long what can I do in that amount of time? Maybe I'll get done a total of 12 sets, taking my time. As opposed to if I want to get that 20 sets in at the beginning, it might take me a little longer. Maybe it could take me 30 minutes at the beginning, right? As you get more conditioned, if you maintain those same variables, then it should improve over time. Then maybe in 20 minutes, you'll be able to do 20 sets later on. And Another example would be if you continue with the work constraint, perhaps 20 sets won't take you as long. You could do that within 20 minutes really easily. So it's your choice. You could change it from session to session or maintain either you have a time constraint or a work sets constraint. The time constraint, you're set, that's the time that you take. So keep in mind that if you have the work constraint, it might take you a little bit longer at first to complete those sets. Like I said, if you train 3 times a week, you can have a lighter day or an easier day. We call it a light day, which would be in the 20-minute range, and a medium day, and then a hard day or heavy day, and the time changes. So if you use the same principle if you have a work constraint routine. In the routine, what weight should you use? How heavy should the weight be? You should use a weight that is going to be your 5 to 6 rep max press. So a medium to heavy weight that you can press perfectly between 5 to 6 times. So it's a little on the heavier side than what was recommended originally in the strength aerobics by Alexis Senard and Pavel. They recommended, I believe, an 8 to 10 rep max weight, but Brett recommends a little heavier one for the iron cardio. So after a few training sessions or a few weeks that you've done 1-1-1, you can try the Traveling 2 series. It's pretty awesome. It's like a moving target. So it works like this. You would do 2 reps of the clean, 1 press, 1 squat. Then the target, the 2 moves down. So you do 1 clean, 2 presses, 1 squat. Then would be 1 clean, 1 press, 2 squats. So on and so forth, and you repeat for the desired amount of time or sets. As mentioned before, you could either do it with a single kettlebell, perform the same thing on each side, or with double kettlebells. After a few weeks of doing your clean press squat, you can even add a 4th exercise, which is recommended by Brett to add that extra challenge of work capacity. He recommends you can do either a snatch or a pull-up. So if you add a 4th exercise, you can either do the singles, as mentioned previously, or you could do the traveling 2s. So the 2 would travel down all 4. So first round, as I mentioned, and then by the 4th round, you hit that 4th exercise with the 2. This is an awesome routine. You can do it for as long as you want. And there are many variations that you can do. But Brett recommends that you keep it to 3 or 4 exercises max and a maximum of 5 reps in total. Why 5 reps? Because he found that after 5 reps, you just lose the quality. You get too tired. You build up too much lactic acid. And this is what we don't want to do, right? So we want to keep the flawlessness of the technique. You want to stay fresh, and we want to practice it frequently, which is 2 or 3 times a week. And during that time, we want to stay perfect in our practice. So try this routine, Iron Cardio. Make sure you check out Brett Jones' book. Check out the program, practice it, have fun. Follow Brett, follow Strong First, and follow me, Hardstyle Kettlebell Pro. Subscribe, share the video, make sure you like that button, and stay strong, guys.